Hello guys, welcome to today's live stream. So finally gold, as you can see, has been sideways throughout the day and finally it is moving, and you can see very clearly the exhaustion in gold. We were expecting market to give us a top over here according to the elite wave structure. So if you look at the structure of this wave C inside this wave 5, then we have got wave 1, 2, wave 3, fourth wave, and the wave 5. It can also be considered as wave 3 and then a wave 4, and a wave 5 doesn't really matter much. The structure is still very much clear that we have got a important top over here. So the question is, what can be the next move in gold? So as we can see, after spending lots of hours over here on this resistance area, finally gold is moving. And if I look very closely, then I can see that not a single candle actually closed above this last wick. This is very important. The wicks are very important, and the wicks are indicating that there is exhaustion in the buying side, and therefore a major correction can be seen in gold. What do I mean by major? I mean at least gold should come down to take out this low. According to the structure, like I said, gold is showing exhaustion and a correction should unfold. We should at least take out this low over here, which was created yesterday. So you can expect that gold would come down to take out this low, and then once again gold can push to the upside. But minimum a drop towards this low is definitely in the cards, and it is possible. Now for more clarity, let's go to the 1 hour time frame. In the 1 hour also, you can see that, yes, you can say we have got a candle closing, but once again, like I said, the wicks are very important. The wicks tell you the story of the market. And here also you can see that market failed to close above this last wick which was created. Right here you can see that market tried to push to the upside. The buyers came into the market. They tried to take over this last high but failed to do so, and once again just wicked out and then started to drop. And the most important thing is that according to the 1 hour structure, this was how the market was moving. From here, market directly pushed through this high, then market created this low, and then after spending multiple hours over here, market tried to push in the New York session above this high but failed to do so, and market dropped. And it did not just drop, it actually created a market structure shift. This candle 1 hour closed below this last low, indicating weakness in gold market. And as you can see that this candle also, with the starting of this candle, market has started to drop, creating some very important point of interests in gold. So what we can do is, what can be our plan? Like I said, it's very clearly showing exhaustion in buying. This was just a range just to trap buyers. Market spent a couple of hours trying to bring as more buyers as possible over here, and then you can see all the stop losses have been taken. Those were bought over here, the stop loss would be just below this swing low, and all of them have been hunted. And once they have been hunted, you can see that gold is continuing very clearly to the downside with momentum. We have also got very good volume coming in, clearly indicating lots of stop loss hunting, or you can say lots of liquidity that gold has gained after this drop to the downside after taking out this liquidity. So the overall structure in the 1 hour has become bearish now, and very clearly we can look for a sell opportunity. But like I said, this is only going to be a short-term sell opportunity because in the higher time frame gold is still very much bullish. Okay, so keep that in mind. So for shorting, what can be our zone? So obviously according to the structure, let's go to the 30 minutes. In the 30 minutes also we have got the same zone over here. If I try to refine it, then this will be the zone to watch for a sell opportunity in gold, because this was the last support level and now market has closed below this level. Now this support should turn into a resistance zone, right? So now as market tests this zone and shows rejection, you can look for a short opportunity. Your initial target will be the last low from which gold will tap and you can say test the zone over here, the last broken level. And if market continues lower, in that case you can next target this low, which would be at $4,569. So this will be your trade setup, the immediate trade setup in gold. If you want to look for an opportunity today for the intraday traders in the New York session, this will be your trade setup. But once again, I have to tell you that the overall structure is still very much bullish. In that case, what I'm expecting is that we have got a daily POI over here. If I remove everything, you can see we have got just below this previous candle's low, we have got a massive fair value gap, along with which we have got the last breakout level, which makes this zone a very important zone for buyers. Previously this was a resistance level, now it is going to be turned into a support. Okay, so from this zone we will be interested to look for a buying opportunity. Okay, this will be the zone, and if you want to refine it, then you can refine it to this exact level. But make sure you do not miss out this whole fair value gap as well, because the momentum is still very much strong. The momentum is still towards buying. In that case, it's very much possible that gold comes down, just taps this low. In the lower time frame, you will be seeing that this is a liquidity level, just takes out the liquidity and then it pushes higher once again. Okay, so once market takes out this low, which is at 4,570, you will be looking for buying opportunity once again. Just to show you that this is a liquidity level indeed, you can see over here we have got this last low which was created yesterday. Apart from that, we have also got another internal range liquidity over here. So there are two liquidity points over here, and the buyers who have bought yesterday and today, the stop losses are obviously going to be at this swing low, and for more safe entries they will keep their stop loss over here. So there is a huge amount of buyers liquidity over here, and market will make sure that it drops, takes all the buyers out. There will be also a trend line, so you will see some kind of a reaction from here, but ultimately market will come down and take them out as well, tap into this last daily POI over here, and from here market will become bullish once again and it will push to the upside. So this is how the structure in gold is looking according to the, you can say, the price action that we have right now. In the intraday, market has become bearish, so on pull back to this zone, you can look for a sell entry. Your initial target will be the last low from which this push will happen, and after that, as market drops, you can keep your target to this low at $4,570. But once market reaches here, you will be closing all your sell positions. You will be only looking for buying opportunities with confirmation. Okay, so that's the plan in gold. So let's see if gold gives us an actual test of the zone, which it should, and from here we'll be looking for a sell opportunity in gold. So this is the intraday plan for today in the New York session. So let's see if we get any entry from this zone. So as you can see, market is still going to the downside. It has also taken out the previous candle's low, clearly indicating that the sellers are in the market and they are in the control of the market right now in the New York session. In the 15 minutes also, if I see that market is continuously dropping, even though there was a doji candle, the buyers tried to come into the market after taking out this low to recover, but it failed miserably and market is still continuing to the downside, creating new lows. So it's very clear that the sellers are right now very much strong in the market, and in such a market we are not going to look for any kind of buying opportunities right now. If we want to take any kind of entry, then we have to wait for market to test this zone. Obviously in the 5 minutes it has already tested, but we cannot rely on the 5 minutes. We have to focus on the higher time frame. So let's wait for market to push once again to this zone, tap this zone, and from here it will get rejected and we can look for a sell entry. Okay, so this will be our short opportunity in gold. Initial target is going to be at this low and the final target will be at this low. Okay, but make sure once market drops till here, you close all your sell entries and look for buying opportunities once again. So let's see if we get some kind of an entry from here or not. I think we should get it. As market pushes to the upside, it is going to test this zone and then we can look for an entry from here. Let's look at the silver chart. The silver structure is actually much more clear than gold. If I look at the structure from the daily, I can see very clearly silver is continuously pushing to the upside to target the psychological level of $95, and above that we have got the massive level of $100. So silver is definitely very much bullish and the structure is much more clearer than gold. And if I talk about some kind of structural entry, and then we have got the 4-hour break of structure, but over here we do not have any kind of POIs. If we want to make an entry, we have to go to the 1-hour time frame. In the 1 hour, we have got a very nice and clean pullback and then a new candle closing above this high, giving us a new break of structure. And obviously, as market drops, we are looking for a buying entry once again. And this is the zone, as you can see, I've already marked. This is the 1 hour order block. And from here, if we get any confirmation, we can look for an entry. So let's in the lower time frame, if we have any confirmation or not. I was actually waiting for an entry over here, but did not take any entry yet. So let's look if we see any confirmation or not. Till now, as I can see over here, that there is nothing very significant. Yes, there is a very strong push and we can see some POIs being created, which is a good sign, but we need a pullback to make an entry. Let's look at the 5 minutes. Okay, so in the 5 minutes, as I can see over here, that market has given a very strong candle closing. I mean, the candle did not close yet, but it's a very strong candle, which is a nice indication that the buyers are once again trying to enter the market. So in silver, this is the zone to look for an entry, obviously, and market has given us a very good displacement. In that case, we can look for an entry on pullback, but what I would like to see before is a candle closing above this high, because if that happens, then we'll have a 1 minute market structure shift, and once that happens, then on pullback we can look for an entry from a POI in the 1 minute, and we can target the last high according to the structure. Okay, so this will be the zone to look for, but before that, like I said, I want to see a strong market structure shift in the 1 minute time frame, which we don't have yet. This is just a liquidity sweep and market is dropping right now. So if we get the market structure shift, then definitely on pullback we can look for an entry in silver. But let's say market fails to hold this zone, which doesn't seem to be the case because market is showing some good strength from this zone. But let's say if silver fails to move from here to take out this last high and goes down once again, in that case we'll be focusing on the 4-hour POI, which in this case will be just below this equal lows. You can see over here that market has created an equal low. If I go to the lower time frame, I can show you much better. This is the equal low that market has created. So just below this, we have got the buyer's stop loss. We have actually got another low as well over here. So these are relatively equal lows, clearly indicating buyer's liquidity, right? The retail's liquidity. So just below this lows, we have got this massive 4-hour fair value gap zone. So this will be your buying POI in the 4-hour time frame in case silver is not able to directly push to the upside to this last high and from the lower time frame POIs, it starts to drop once again. In that case, we'll be focusing on this zone, which is a 4-hour POI, and just above this POI we have got relatively equal lows. So this will be a very important and a very powerful buying zone for silver. Okay, so make sure you focus on this zone if you want to look for an entry in silver. Right now, as I can see, that silver is directly pushing to the upside, which is a good sign, and silver has also broken above this high, but I'd like to see strong closing in the 5 minutes time frame. Okay, so I can see that. So we can actually take an entry from this candle itself, this last order block candle in the 5 minutes. So this is going to be our trade setup, but we have to wait for this candle to close. This candle needs to be a green candle too. That's very important. If this candle is not a green candle and it drops back and closes a red candle, in that case we won't be taking this entry. But if this candle closes strong and it gets rejected from this zone, which it can, and then it is going to tap into this POI, and from here we'll be taking our entry to target this last high. So this will be our trade setup in silver, but like I said, for that you have to wait for this candle to close, and this candle must close green. That's very, very important. If that happens, then you can make your entry from here. I think that will be nice. Stop loss will go just below this low, and your target according to the structure will be at this high. Okay, so this will be your trade setup, but it isn't activated yet, so do not make any aggressive entry. Wait for this candle to close, and then you can put your buy limit over here at 90.6768 or $7 according to the spread of your broker. So adjust the spread of your broker accordingly, and your stop loss will be just below this candle's low. Target will be this high. Okay, so this will be your trade setup in silver, and like I said, the price action is much more clearer than gold. So according to the structure, we can look for a buy entry from this POI. Okay, this is the 5 minutes order block from which we are looking for an entry. Let's look at gold, what's going on. Okay, very nice. So gold has actually, as you can see, it's testing the zone, and like I said, we are going to look for a selling opportunity from this zone. So let's see in the 15 minutes, if we get a rejection from here, then definitely we can look for a sell opportunity. In the 30 minutes, I can see we have got this candle closing, obviously, which is a very good sign that the sellers are in the market. But right now we want to see this zone hold, the sellers come into the market and push gold down once again. If that happens, then we will be looking for a sell entry from this zone. So let's see if that happens or not. Obviously gold is pushing because it has tapped into this 4-hour order block level, so that's the reason that gold is showing this strong reaction. But till now we cannot say that gold is bullish, because as we can see, that market in the 1 hour time frame has definitely given us a very strong candle closing. So we can expect that gold can once again drop all the way down to take out this low initially, and after that this low. So let's see how this candle closes. This will be very important in the 1 hour time frame. That will indicate where gold wants to go next, but the selling pressure is very clearly visible with the previous candles closing below this low. So let's see what gold does. If we go to the lower time frame in the 30 minutes, okay, this candle is pushing higher, that's okay. In the 15 minutes, as we can see, we have got two candle closing below this low. So this is a market, this is a change of character, obviously along with market structure shift, and now gold is pushing to the upside to test this fair value gap zone over here in the 15 minutes time frame. So let's see what happens. This candle closing will be very important. We have got still 10 minutes left for this candle to close. If it closes back below this low, then you can expect that the sellers are back once again in the market, and we can look for a sell opportunity. Remember that gold and silver, most of the time they move together, but in times like this where the structure in silver is much more clearly powerful, it's much more clearly bullish, in that case you can expect that silver can have an upper hand and it can move much more, you can say, with a bullish momentum towards its direction, where gold can struggle. Here also you can see that gold has struggled throughout the day, but if you look at silver, then silver has actually created some higher highs and higher lows. very clearly indicating a bullish structure. But we cannot say the same thing for gold. Gold has clearly struggled throughout the whole day to break above this resistance, but it failed to do so very clearly, and after that it gave us a strong drop, taking out this low. So now we want to see a strong rejection from this zone, and only then we can look for a sell entry. Let's look at silver, what's going on. Okay, so silver has given us another strong green candle closing as we needed, and now if silver gives us an opportunity to enter from this zone, then definitely we'll be taking an entry from here. So you can place your buy limit at this level. Obviously adjust your broker of your spread, spread of your broker, and yeah, and the stop loss will go just below this low, and according to the structure this will be your target. Let's see how this candle closes. If this candle gives us a strong rejection and it closes red below this low, in that case you can expect that the sellers are once again back in the market, and we can look for a sell opportunity like this. Stop loss will go just above the high, and according to the structure this will be our initial target and this will be our final target. Okay, so let's see how this candle closes. If I follow this particular broker, which is Afixium, then here the structure is indicating that the 4-hour has actually turned bullish, because we have got a break off structure over here, and most importantly this candle's body closed above the previous week's high. This is very important. So that means in the 4-hour structure market is still bullish in gold, and I cannot say the same thing over here, because in the 4-hour if I see the structure, then like I said, the wicks did not allow the buyers to give us any candles body closing above this high. And also if I consider this high, then here also I can see that this was just a liquidity sweep. This was again a liquidity sweep, and like I said, I cannot consider this body alone because this candle's high was also just a sweep of the previous high. So if I follow this broker, then definitely in the 4-hour there is no break-off structure to the upside. But if I follow this broker, then here I can see a very clear break-off structure indicating bullishness in gold. And if that's the case, then in 4-hour gold is still bullish. And if that's the case, then here I can see that gold has actually tapped into this fair value gap. And from here, if I go to the 5 minutes, then in the 5 minutes, gold has given a very strong market structure shift. This was a low, a high, another low to take out this low, and then market breaks out above this high. This is indicating that gold has turned bullish in the 5 minutes time frame. So if that's the case, then we have to look for a buying entry. Okay, so our buying is going to be from this fair value gap. Stop loss will go just below this low, and the target will be at this high. So there are two scenarios right now. If I follow this broker, then obviously in the 4-hour the structure is bullish. But if I follow the other broker, which is Wanda, in that case you can see that this was just a liquidity sweep. Even in the 4-hour time frame there was no breakout, not a single candle's body closed above this range high, above the wicks, which is clearly indicating that the sellers are in the market and they have taken over. So it's kind of confusing if I look at two different brokers, but I'd like to follow and I would like to stick to Wanda because this is what I follow. I don't want to go to other brokers and see the structure over there. So I'm just going to stick to this one, and according to this one, There is not a single candle in the 1 hour time frame or in the 4 hour time frame that gave us a closing above this high. In that case, this is just for me going to be a liquidity sweep, and I'm just going to look for bearish confirmations in gold. Now, because we have got a very clear 1 hour candle closing below the previous low, this is clearly indicating the selling pressure. And now, like I said, if this candle closes all the way back down below this low, then this is going to be very, very clear that market is still bearish in the intraday in the shorter time frame, and we can still see a drop in gold. Let's go to 30 minutes and see what's going on. Okay, let's go to 15 minutes. Okay, like I said, this is a 15 minutes FVG, so a 15 minutes POI, and from here, as I can see, that market is showing some reaction. So we have got still 3 minutes left for this candle to close. So let's see how this candle closes. If it closes all the way back down, then we can directly take an entry from here, something like this. This is going to be a little bit aggressive, but still we can look for an entry like that. So let's see how this candle closes. But if this candle closes strong and closes above this high, that means that the buyers are once again trying to reclaim this area. In that case, we have to wait for the next 15 minutes candle to close down like this, and only then we can make an entry after the candle closes. But for now, there is no confirmation that we can look for a sell entry, so you have to wait. Okay, so let's look at silver. Silver has taken out the previous candle's high, showing weakness. So a pullback can definitely be seen, and this is going to be our entry. And I hope that you have already created a buy limit for silver. Stop loss will go just below the low, and your target is going to be this high. If this candle today closes above the previous candle's high, which is yesterday's candle, in that case you can expect that tomorrow also silver is going to continue this bullishness, and we will see another green candle in silver, or at least silver is going to go up, take out this high, and then if it wants to continue up to the upside, then it will give a green candle. But if it wants to drop, then it is going to come back down and give us a red candle closing. So let's see how this candle closes. There is a very high chance that this is going to close green, and if that happens, then tomorrow at least silver is going to push to the upside to take out this high. And remember, candle psychology is also very important, so you can also identify how the next candle is going to play out. So let's say this candle today closes green, and it closes this is very, very important thing what I'm seeing. Okay, you are not going to learn this anywhere else, so make sure you pay very focused attention over here. So let's say this candle closes strong, right, and we have got a candle closing above the previous candle's high. Now what can happen? Now two things can happen, or let's say, yeah, two things can happen. So first would be that when the next candle starts, tomorrow, so we will see an initial drop to the downside. Okay, we're going to see initial drop to the downside because we have got this wicks over here clearly indicating selling pressure towards the end of the New York session. So we are going to see a initial drop. But since this candle closed above the previous candle's high, the buyers are still very much in the market. So when the market will start to drop, let's say in the Asian session or in the pre-Asian session, in that case all the selling will be absorbed by the buyers. So initially market will drop, but like I said, the psychology of the candle which is going to form tomorrow is still bullish, and in that case it is going to go up to take out this high. Now if this candle goes up like this and it closes back up again, creating a wick on the downside, something like this, just to give you an example, in that case, so this can be one thing that can happen. So if that happens, that means the day after tomorrow is also going to be a bullish day. That means the day after tomorrow is also market going to push up and at least take out the previous candle's high. So this can be one thing, that market wants to continue this upside trend and the buyers are still trying to push silver to the upside. The second thing that can happen is if it wants to drop, if it wants to come to the downside, let's say give us a major pullback. In that case, what can happen is first it is going to go up, it is going to take out this high, and then it is going to come down and give us closing over here. And this is what A and D is. That means accumulation, manipulation, and distribution. So if you actually look at the candle over here, so you'll see that in the Asian session, silver initially will start to push to the upside, right? In the London session, it will manipulate the high of the Asian session, and in the New York session, it is going to come down and give us a red candle closing, something like this. Now this is so much important. Those who have questions about bias, those who have questions about what is the direction of the market, in which direction market is going to move, this is what is going to tell you where any market is going to move in the next day. So if you understand this, then you can figure out where the next candle is going to go to, right? So this is so much powerful. Like any market, just look at any market, look at gold. Now what I'm teaching you, this is something this is what you need to learn, not just get signals, right? This is what you need to learn. See what happened over here. We had the strong candle closing, right? See what happened the next day. Market was bullish. Why? Because the candle closed above the previous candle's high. Not just this one, it also closed above this high. See what happened the next day. Market initially came down. If I just mark this candle over here, take you to the 1 hour time frame, then see what happened. Market initially came down and then market went up. Why market went up? Yes, gold will sell, but I will come to that in a minute. So market went up and see what happened. Market took out this high first. Which high? The high of the previous candle, this high. Market took out this high and then market came down and gave us a bearish closing. So this is the candle psychology. I'm watching gold only. So here you can see that I told you, right? I told you if gold closes below this low, then you'll take a sell entry, right? I told you that. And like I said, I'm not going to follow any other broker. So I'm just going to focus on this one. So this will be your first target. If you have taken the sell entry already, then this is going to be your first target at $4,600, which is a psychological level. And your next target will be at this low at $4,570. So this is going to be a trade setup in gold. Okay, and like I said, I'm not going to follow any other broker. I don't want to consider FXM or anything else. I'm just looking at this broker, and according to this one, this is a sell setup, and I'm just going to follow this one. I keep lagging. I don't see any lags actually. Do I keep lagging? I think my bitrate is fine. I don't know. Enough video to maintain smooth streaming. What's this? YouTube is not receiving enough video. What does it mean? Be the sell setup already. I think you should have already taken an entry. I was explaining something very important, which was a candlestick psychology. And yeah, this is the setup. If you've already taken the trade, that's good for you. Let's look at silver. So silver has also come down, like I said. It took out this high, and so it became bearish and market dropped. So yeah, this is going to be your entry level. Stop loss will go just below this low, and this will be your target. So in silver, we are looking for buying opportunity because of the bullish structure. But in gold, I'm looking for bearish opportunity because market has given us a very strong closing below this low, and also market has tapped into the 15 minutes fair value gap, and I talked about it. And as you can see, the 15 minutes closing has also happened just below this low, right? So everything is going as planned, and I trust my broker, which is Wanda. I'm not going to follow any other broker. So according to this broker, yeah, this is a sell in gold. So if you have taken a sell, good for you. This will be your first target at $4,600, and your final target will be at $4,570. So this is the trade setup in gold, and if you have taken the sell trade, then you can keep holding. So you can still sell gold. It has once again come into the entry point, right? Stop loss will go above this swing high, and your initial target will be at this low, 4,600, and your next target will be at $4,570 in case the sellers really come into the market, because it has taken out a major high and it has given a very strong closing in the 1 hour time frame. And also in this candle we can see that market is very clearly showing weakness. In that case, it's possible that the selling can continue to the downside. So if that happens, then we'll be targeting this low. Okay, so this is the trade setup in gold. We're looking to sell gold. If I want to buy gold, in that case, I'm not going to look for an entry anywhere over here. The only zone that I'm going to look for an entry is going to be at this POI in the daily time frame, right? Or if market breaks out above this high, which was at $4,642, and market creates some new POIs over here, only then I'll be looking for new buy opportunities. So either market breaks out above this high, creates some POIs, and on pullback to the POIs, I'll be looking for a continuation trade. Or if market drops to this low, and from here on market structure shift in the 1 hour time frame, I'll be looking for a new entry and I'll be targeting the last high. So this will be my two buying scenarios. Either market directly breaks above the high, in that case we'll be looking for an entry, or if market drops as expected and taps into this daily POI, then from here also we can look for an entry. So these are the two buying scenarios that I'll be looking for. But according to the structure now, gold is definitely showing weakness, and that's why I'm waiting for market to give us a drop and at least tap this low, which is at $4,570. So let's see how this trade plays out. Silver, as I can see, has pushed higher as expected, but it did not give an entry. Okay, it's fine if it does not give an entry. What can we do? We cannot do anything about it. We just have to let it go. We cannot FOMO in the market, right? We have to take our entry at a particular position with a proper risk management, with a proper risk reward. And after that, if market does not give us any entry, that's completely fine. But till now, market is definitely, it's possible that that silver drops and gives us an opportunity from this zone. So till market breaks above this high, if it drops even now, then from here also we can look for an entry and we'll be targeting this last high. Okay, but if it directly breaks out, in that case obviously we are going to remove this limit, and yeah, so it is breaking out now, but this candle needs to close above this. Okay, if it is able to close, in that case we'll be removing this buying limit and we'll be waiting for a new breakout and a new buying opportunity. But till then, we will just wait for silver to give us a closing above this high. If it is able to do so, then we'll remove the limit. But if it drops, in that case we'll be taking our entry from this zone. So let's see what silver does. This candle closing will be very important. If it just takes out the liquidity and then drops, then we will look for an entry from here. But if it closes above this high, then we'll remove the entry. Okay, let's look at gold, what's going on. Okay, so gold is also showing some bullish strength. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Okay, because we have got the POI over here in the 15 minutes time frame, and we have got this massive rejection candle as well. So that's the reason that we took this entry. So let's see what gold does. Whatever it does, we will be fine with it, and we'll look for a new setup according to the new price action. If you still want to sell gold, you can take a sell entry, but yeah, definitely manage your risk, because this is against the higher trend, which is still very much bullish. And so you can definitely lower your risk in this trade. If you want to take an entry, then definitely you can make an entry. Your stop loss will go just above this swing high, and your initial target is going to be at this low, and the final target, if it continues the drop, in that case we can expect gold to tap $4,570. Okay guys, make sure to like the stream if it is helping you, if you're finding any value in it, and also if you haven't subscribed the channel, then make sure to do it. And also for more updates in gold and silver, you can join my free Telegram channel. Here I keep updating completely free updates in gold and silver. No, actually I have sold over here, and this is our stop loss, and I'm expecting gold to come down because we have got a 1 hour market structure shift over here, a strong candle closing just below this low after taking out this high. So I'm expecting gold to drop. So let's see what happens. If you want to buy, then you can look for a buying in silver. If this candle closes below this low, then we can see another drop in silver. This is going to be your buying POI, this 5 minutes order block. Stop loss will go just below the swing low, and your target is going to be this last high. Okay, so if you want to buy, you can look for a setup in silver, but gold is looking bearish right now. So yeah, we have sold in gold. Okay, so no silver, I mean, not a candle closed above this high in silver. So we can expect a drop. And if that happens, then we can still take an entry from this level just below this low. So now this is going to act as an inducement. So let's see if it gives us a pullback to this zone. Then from here, we'll be making a buy entry in silver. But in gold, as you know, we're still bearish. And yeah, this 1 hour candle closing is also going to be very important. If this closes below this zone, then this is going to give us a change of character. Then more selling pressure is going to come in gold. And the next candle is going to be very important, because this candle, as you can see, this is a 1 hour candle. If you look at the volume, this is a massive volume. But if you look at the candle's body, then there is no body in this candle, literally no body. There is only wicks, right? So this is an indecisive candle. So that means the next candle that is going to happen is going to decide where the next move is going. So either the next candle will be a strong bearish candle or a strong bullish candle, right? And there is a very high chance that if this candle closes below this zone, then the next candle is going to be a very strong following bearish candle. So that's the reason that we took a sell trade in gold, and I hope that we should get a very good drop in gold. So let's see how this plays out. It's still at the entry level, so if you still want to make an entry in gold, then we have sold, and you can take an entry. Stop loss will go just above the high. Make sure you do proper risk management, because this trade is a counter trend trade. This is against the higher trend, which is bullish. So that's the reason, if you want to take this trade, then lower your risk, right, by 50%, I would recommend. So if you do that, then even if it goes against us, then in that case you are not going to lose as much, right? But if it gives profit, then definitely we are going to take some profits off the table. And as market completes the drop, our next plan is going to be to look for a buying opportunity from this zone, which is a daily POI. Let me show you. In the daily, we have got this massive fair value gap just below previous candles low, and also we've got the last breakout level. So this zone is a very powerful zone for the buyers. So once market takes out this candles low, which is the target for our sell, and once market takes it out, taps into this zone, from here we'll be looking for a sell opportunity, a buy opportunity in gold. Okay, and our target is going to be the last high. So that's what I'm looking for in gold. So let's see how this sell trade plays out. Silver is also giving us a drop as expected, and we are still in this trade. We're still waiting for market to give us an entry from this POI, and if that happens, then we'll be looking for this buy opportunity in silver. But in gold, we are bearish. So gold is clearly showing weakness, and the 1 hour candle is about to close. We've still got 6 minutes left. So if this candle closes like this, then there is a high chance that the next candle is also going to be a bearish candle. Silver is also coming down as expected. I told you if this candle does not close above this high, then there is a high chance that it is going to drop. So that's what is happening over here. So our trade still remains the same. Our buy limit is at this zone. Stop loss is just below this low. Target is going to be at this high. Okay. So silver, we are bullish according to the structure. But in gold, we are short-term bearish. Okay. Even in 30 minutes, as you can see, gold has tested this last breakout level and it has shown rejection, right? So all the candles are showing rejection from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. So it's very clear that there is a high chance that gold can continue this drop to the downside, and that's the reason we have sold. So let's see how this trade plays out. We have sold, and you can still take an entry if you haven't taken yet. Stop loss will go just above this swing high, and this will be your initial target. This will be your final target. In the 1 hour, you can see that we have got 2 minutes left for this candle to close. So if this candle closes below this zone, there is a high chance that the next candle is going to be bearish and gold is going to drop. So this candle's closing will be very, very important. Silver, we have taken a buy trade. We have put a buy limit over here, but we did not get any entry yet. So let's see if it gives us an entry. If not, then we have to remove this limit. But silver is definitely very much bullish, and it is right now much stronger than gold. And in that case, we can look for more buying opportunities. If it creates new breakout structure to the upside, in that case we can look for new buy entries in silver. Even according to the elite wave count, now this is the reason, most importantly, why I took this sell entry. According to the elite wave count, the structure is actually complete. This was the wave A, this was the wave B, and this should be the wave C. Now if I use the Fibonacci tool to the high of the wave A, come down to the low of the wave B, in that case you can see that market perfectly hit the 100% extension level. And also if I look at the internal structure, then I can see very clearly we had this wave 1 high, wave 2 pullback. Here I can very clearly see 5 waves, right? This was the wave 3. Then we had the A, B, C flat correction for the wave 4, and this is the last wave, which is the wave 5. So we should have some kind of a top over here in this wave C, because this was the wave A, this was the wave B, so this should be the wave C, and we should see at least an initial drop in gold before it continues its upside trend. So the elite wave count is definitely indicating that we have got some kind of a top in gold according to the structure, and also market exactly hit our 100% extension level from which this drop has started. So everything is indicating that gold should now drop, and as I can see over here, the 1 hour candle has also closed, and we have got this candle's body closing below this low. Now this candle is kind of controversial because it closed, you can say, below this low but just above the high of the previous candle's body. But as I can see, we had got a massive wick on the upside, clearly indicating that the buyers came into the market. They tried to reclaim this zone over here, but they failed to do it. So now I think there will be some battle between the buyers and the sellers for some time, and it's also possible that the market can get a little bit sideways over here between the battles, and whoever is going to win is going to take over the next move, either to the downside or to the upside. So this candle that we have got in the 1 hour, it's a very indecisive candle, but we have got a very strong volume over here, clearly showing that there have been transactions which have taken place in the last 1 hour. But good thing is that we have got a massive candle rejection above this high, clearly indicating that the buyers wanted to reclaim the zone but failed to do so. So everything is indicating that there is still some kind of selling pressure in gold, and market should not just take off from here. So even if it wants to go to the upside, it is initially going to come down and maybe create some, like I said, there is going to be a battle between the buyers and the sellers. So it's going to become a little bit of sideways before it goes to the upside. So if that happens, then it is going to drop as well. In that case, we can manage our trade, bring our stop loss to break even aggressively, just to be on the safe side, because like I said, this trade is against the higher time frame trade. And yeah, if it hits our break even, then it's completely fine. But now if it drops, gives us a strong bearish candle, in that case we can expect a good drop in gold, because like I said, according to the structure, we should have a local top in gold, and now we should see at least a correction in gold, which should be decent. So let's see how this trade plays out, what happens next, let's see. But definitely, like I said, there is going to be some sidewaysness. It's not just going to take off in one direction so easily, so it can become sideways. Okay, so keep that in mind. Silver did not give us any entry, unfortunately, and if I look at the 30 minutes candle, then this candle is also going to become bullish. In the 5 minutes, unfortunately, it has closed above this high, so we did not get any entry. So we have to remove this buy limit, because now it becomes very, you can say, risky if silver drops once again to take out this low In that case, then it becomes very risky because we have got already a break-off structure. So now it should directly continue to the upside. So silver did not give us an entry. I could have taken an entry from this fair value gap as well from here, but that would be terrible risk to reward. So that's the reason that I did not make an entry from here. My entry was from this order block. So anyhow, we did not get an entry in silver, but if it continues to the upside, creates a new break-off structure in the 1 hour, then we can look for new entries from new POIs that will be created in the 1 hour time frame. Okay, this is a very strong candle closing, taking out the previous candle's low. So there is a high chance that silver can continue up from here and give us a new break-off structure above this high. So for now, there is no entry in silver, but the structure remains bullish. So if it creates new break-off structures, then definitely you can look for new entries in silver. Gold, I have explained, I think, in detail what we're looking for. And like I said, market will be sideways over here. It's highly possible there will be some battle between the buyers and the sellers, and we can see some struggle in the market just like over here. We can see something similar to that over here as well. But looking at the structure, looking at the candle, obviously it's not a very bullish candle. So in that case, there is a chance that gold can actually give us a drop to the downside. And yeah, if you still want to look for an entry in gold, you can still take an entry. Stop loss will be just above the swing high. Initial target will be at $4,600 and final target will be at this low. Okay, so let's see how this trade plays out, and obviously use proper risk management. And I'll tell you to lower your risk by 50% in this trade, because this is a counter trend trade against the higher time frame bullish market structure. So in that case, if you lose, you do not want to lose a huge amount, so make sure you keep that in mind. I think we should take a look at crypto, because Bitcoin is moving in a big way. Okay, so this is actually a monthly POI over here, a monthly order block candle from which market is moving. And let's look at the daily. In the daily, okay, nothing is very clear yet. Market is creating some new break-off structures, which is good. But till now, I cannot really say that market has become bullish. Cannot really say that. Let's look at the 4 hour. Okay, so in the 4 hour, actually market has shown some good movement. Market has taken out this last high, indicating that the buyers are trying to once again come into the market. So we have this first market structure shift level, and we have got a break off structure as well, which is clearly indicating that the buyers are trying to create the new highs and the new lows. They're trying to hold these new highs and the new lows, which is a good sign for the bulls. And in that case, we can look for some buying opportunities in them. So according to the structure, we have got a new breakoff structure. So if this candle closes above, then we will have some POIs over here. We will have this fair value gap candle. I'll mark it in a different color. And apart from that, we have also got the order block candle. So this whole zone will be an important level to look for an entry in Bitcoin if you want to trade crypto. And what is going to be our target? So our target is going to be, let's look over here. Okay, let's go to the weekly. Okay. So the target is going to be at this high. This will be our initial target. But if it continues higher, in that case, we can look for new buying opportunities. But for now, this is going to be our first target, which is at $99,000. You can say, just to round it off. Okay. So this will be your buying setup in Bitcoin according to the structure. If it gives a pullback to this zone, you look for an entry from here and it'll be targeting this high. Okay, so this will be according to the structure, which is bullish right now. Let's look at Ethereum as well. Okay, we have got the monthly POI over here as well, and market is reacting from here. Let's go to the daily. Again, in the daily we don't have anything clear. Let's go to the 4-hour. So in the 4-hour we have got this market structure shift, and after that we have got a new breakout structure, and after that another breakout structure. Then market dropped, took out this low, tapped into this POI, and from here market went up. Okay, so the story is bullish once again in Ethereum as well. And if today this candle closes higher than this high, then you can expect, just like in Bitcoin, that Ethereum is also going to push higher. Wait for a pullback to this fair value cap, and from here you can look for an entry, and according to the structure this will be your initial target at $3,450. Okay, so this is going to be your trade setup in Ethereum, and if it breaks above this high as well, then your next target is going to be at $3,660. Okay, let's look at the weekly ones. In the daily, what we have got, okay, this is already taken. Okay, so the weekly, there is nothing over here. Yeah, that's fine. So this will be our target at $3,660. Okay, so this will be your trade setup in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Obviously we are not going to expect a major reversal from here, because for that we want to see some new breakout structures being created. But in the short term, this is going to be your buying opportunities in Ethereum and Bitcoin. Okay, let's go back to gold. I think gold is dropping. Let's look at the lower time frame over here in the 1 hour. Okay, market is showing reaction. That's good. Okay, like I said, it's going to take some time. It's not going to just pop off in one direction. It's going to consume some time, spend some time over here. There will be some battle between the buyers and the sellers, and then whoever wins, market is going to move in the direction in a big way. Okay, because the last candle, as I have told you, we had this massive candle, but huge wicks on the both sides, but the body is very small. But if you look at the volume, then the volume was massive. So this transaction that happened in the last candle, that is going to show up in this candle, which is going to form right now in the 1 hour, and also the following 1 hour as well. So yeah, this is our trade setup in gold. If you want to take a trade in gold, then we have taken a sell trade in gold with stop loss just above this high, and this will be our initial target. This will be our final target. So if you want to take a trade, then you can take a trade with a lower risk, which will be, I would recommend 50% of your general risk. So if you risk $100 in a trade, you can risk $50 in this trade, because this is against the higher time frame direction, which is still bullish. Let's look at silver. So silver is still over here, but it has closed above this high, so it will initially finally it is going to push higher to take out the last high over here, which was at this level. Okay, guys, I think that will be it for today. I think I've given you a very good explanation of what we're looking for in gold in the shorter term, which would be a short scalp trade in gold to this zone. And from here, we'll be looking for a buying opportunity in gold once again, according to the higher time frame structure, which is still bullish. And in silver, market is still very much bullish, much more bullish than gold. And the structure is obviously very clean as well. You can see the zones, they're very clean. Market is giving displacement and creating these POIs from which market is also giving some good reactions. So you can follow the bullish structure in silver and you can look for buying opportunities in silver. So yeah, that will be it for today, and this is the trade. Let's see how it goes. I will update in my Telegram channel whatever happens, and also the next plan I've already told you, but as more price action develops, I'll make sure to update all of that in my free Telegram channel over here. So if you haven't joined this yet, you can join here. I keep updating all kinds of updates in gold and silver. So that will be it for today, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow. And like I said, as more price action develops, I'll also share that in my Telegram channel, so make sure you join this. The link is in the description. So that will be it for today. I'll see you tomorrow, and like I said, for more updates, join my channel. And also, if you want free signals, then you can just register an account with my broker below. You can also find the broker below, which is Vantage. As most of you are outside from India, you can use that broker. That's completely fine. And if you have any issues, you can also refer me and I'll help you with that. And also, you get rewards if you use big lots to trade. Then you also get some monthly rewards. And if you're from India, then you can use XM, and you can also find the link in my channel itself, and that is also one of the best brokers. So yeah, so I think that will be it for now, and I will see you with more updates in gold and silver in my channel. So till then, if you have taken this trade, make sure to manage this trade once market comes down and gives you 1:1, or let's say it takes you to this take profit at this low. In that case, book your target partially and move your stop loss to break even. Or if you want to be a little bit aggressive with 1:1, also you can move your stop loss to break even or just above this high, just to move your losses or lower your losses a bit. So let's see how this trade plays out. Like I said, it's going to be sideways for a bit, and then market is going to decide in which direction it wants to move. So let's see how it goes. And silver is, like I said, much more bullish than gold, so you can look for buying opportunities. So that will be it from my side, and hope this stream was helpful. If it was, make sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you're watching me for the first time. And I will see you in my channel with more updates. Till then, take care and trade safe.